few times when I said, I don't think I can do that again. You know, I'm blowing. So I was starting to get a little bit worried. And so what I did to help things along was take singing classes and speech classes and voice classes. And I took, well, you know, New York City is very walkable, so I took a lot of long walks just to get some chill out exercise, just to feel a little bit better. Just little things like that to help the voice health. And actually, you just reminded me of, I've told this story before. When we first started working on Pokemon, they said, well, you're doing the voices of Musashi and Kasumi. And I didn't know what their English names were yet. So the first day is when I learned their English names. I said, oh, Jessie and Misty, okay. And so we did tons of work on the St. Anne episode. We went back and re-recorded it, and it was so much work. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have a voice left because there's so much intensity. And then I kind of started to get used to it. People who work in a lot of video games will say that. You kind of get used to a certain intensity. And then I would wake up in the morning and go, oh, okay, it's still there. And so after we finished, I thought I was done. I didn't realize that Jessie and Misty were recurring characters. Nobody told me that. I thought that they were just in that episode, that two-parter, and then Ash and Pikachu, maybe Brock, I don't know, would go off to the next town and meet new people, a new female-male companion maybe, or new villains. That's what I thought Pokemon was. I had no clue that they were recurring. So after all that work and after like, oh my gosh, okay, got to get used to this. And then I thought the job was done after a couple of weeks. And I thanked the director and I said, thank you for the job. I really enjoyed working with you. I learned a lot. If you ever need voice actors again, please give me a call. And I'd be more than happy to come back, be honored, you know. And he was looking at me as I was talking to him like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, we're done, right? And he said, no. And I said, oh, did they come back in another episode? And he said, yeah. And I said, oh, well, how many episodes are they going to be in? And he said, all of them. And then I started to get a little nervous. And I said, how many episodes are in a season? And he said, 52. And I kind of had a Dustin Hoffman Tootsie moment. And I went, I honestly didn't know if I could handle it. I was like, and you know, for those of you who've seen Tootsie, his character, he dresses up like a woman to be in a soap opera. They pick up his option for another year, so he has to dress like a woman for another year, and he's like, so, yeah. Anyway, so that's how I found out that Jessie and Misty were recurring. So yeah, that all played into your question. That's a long answer, but that's like that all played into the process of growing all of that mushed together into that one experience. So yeah, I don't know how that information slipped through the cracks. Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea, and I thought, I don't know if I can handle it, but I just didn't say anything. I kept going back, said, please let me handle it. So I need a job. Yeah, thank you for the question.
Back there. Hey there. So yesterday, I know you guys said that like there's some line for us that you like good luck like performing it.
Do your best, yeah.
Yeah. And I was wondering like, were there any? I guess in summary, I'm asking like, when you came to like performing the 2D and Master CD and all that, like what was the difference between like that and the show? And were there any of those like do your best moments in that?
You know, there weren't a lot of opportunities for improv. So recording the To Be a Master CD, everything was very tightly scripted because, you know, they had, you know, to protect the world from devastation. And I recorded it separately from Eric, so it was very tightly done. Team Rocket kind of had that motto thing, so that was a little unique to that. So there wasn't a lot of improv. But yeah, I don't really know. I think when we recorded the Christmas album, we had a little bit more room for improvisation. For those of you who might be familiar with the Christmas album, that was recorded just on our free time, just because we felt like it. And and so that was a different experience in terms of doing your best. It's like, how are we going to do this? I mean, how are we going to translate Pokemon into a Christmas Carol? We don't quite know. So yeah, there were things like that. In the show, yeah, there were a lot of do your best moments because Japanese is so different from English, and sometimes you just can't adapt it, and sometimes you just sort of have to think on your feet. So yeah, there were times like that. But recording the album, no, that was pretty strictly done. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we'll go here and then we'll go to you.
You said you've taken classes for voice acting and stuff like that. What actually got you into voice acting? What made you want to do it or just fall into it?
I was always doing voices ever since I have a lot of siblings, and they tell me stuff that I don't remember. Like when I was little, I did a lot of voices. I watched a lot of cartoons and I watched a lot of movies, and I really liked to do voices. Yeah, and I liked when they changed up the motto too. That was a lot of fun. It's like an evil as old as the galaxy, and yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. And there was singing in that too. So we're like, geez. See, in Japan, so many voice actors are recording artists, and so we're like, oh, geez, they're singing again. So hey, we're down with that. That's crazy. It's fun. Yeah, I can't think of anything like Misty. I like some of the battle stuff. She was in the World Cup, and she did pretty well in the World Cup, and so she did a lot of cool battling in that. So that was a lot of fun. I can't think of any individual lines offhand, though. Sorry.
Off the top of my head, for Jessie, there was an episode with the Evie brothers. Do you guys remember that? And Misty, you were talking to yourself, right? Because it's Jessie and Misty fighting, and Misty called you an old hag. And Jessie was like, what? And then it zoomed in to the crinkles in her face, and then she breathed fire. Yeah. And then Meowth, who was voiced by Maddie Blaustein, he was like, oh my God, Jessie literally evolved into a Flareon. But so I just remember that whole bit because it's my favorite in the whole series.
Yeah,
so but you actually did the the fire breathing sounds.
The fire breathing sound.
But that was fun.
It's like and people like that exchange a lot. And they do the close-up, like the Rolling Stone close-up on her lips. Forget it, you old hag. We won't let you do that. What? What did you just call me? And I don't know if I can scream right now.
No, you don't have to.
I've been talking at the con a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks.
I can light some hairspray on fire. Make the effect, but not the noise.
That made my day. Thank you. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Oh my God, I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry. It's just like a little nervous. About the Hoenn Saga. What was it like to come back as Misty in the Hoenn Saga? It was kind of emotional. I missed her, and there was a whole interesting thing with Togepi and the other kingdom, and Team Rocket played a very significant role. So I thought that she just got right back on the saddle. It's like she can't breathe for 5 minutes, can she? She shows up in the episode and boom, Team Rocket captures her. So it's like, oh, welcome back, Misty. So I enjoyed that very much. I enjoyed it. I think that she had matured a lot. She was counseling people. She was telling Max, you gotta be nicer to your older sister because she cares about you. I mean, Misty from Indigo was like, my older sisters are so mean to me, So, but in Hoenn, she was like, oh, you just gotta listen. You gotta have faith in them. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool how they progressed that way.
So you speak about Misty so fondly, and I don't blame you. She's one of my favorites.
I love her.
But I'm wondering, is there, if you could pick one character that you've played over the years that resonates with you specifically, which one would it be?
Like any character ever?
Any character ever.
Any character ever?
Yeah. That you think resonates with you most, and it just comes to mind most often.
Well, I would have to pick Misty because, I'm getting emotional.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you emotional.
No, and I cry at the drop of a hat. Anyone who can relate?
Yeah, no, I do. I do.
Yeah.
I cry when I see people cry, so I'm gonna look away. I'm gonna look away when you.
Yeah, it's like don't.
Yeah.
Got to put up like a whole wall right here. I know it's powerful. Misty, right after I got over the shock of finding out that Misty was a recurring character, it's like, what? It was then revealed, and maybe you guys can help me out with this, the episode where we first meet Misty's sisters. Does anyone know what that is?
Yeah, I think it's Sisters of Cerulean City.
Sister, thank you.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
thank you so much. It's revealed that she's the youngest of 4 girls. And I was like, and I'm the youngest of 6 girls. And I know, Irish Catholic. So Italian and all the other European nations that go into the DNA. But yeah, there was just like a lot of familiarity, because as soon as I found that out, and her sisters, and I don't mean to invoke any, like, I'm not fishing for any awes, but my sisters kind of treated me in a very similar way when I was growing up. They kind of teased me the same way that Misty's sisters teased her, and I was just watching this episode with my jaw on the floor because it was just so freaking relatable. And the director said, okay, now, Misty's sisters, okay, we meet them in this episode. They're not very nice to her. What you want to do, you approach it from and I said, I got this. I mean, you can go to lunch if you want, so I don't need any directing, all right? Yeah, it was just so familiar. And the episode aired, and I think I told you this.
Yeah,
okay, I did.
yeah, yesterday you did, yeah.
The episode aired, and I got a phone call from one of my sisters, and she said, how do they know about our family? Did you tell the people in Japan about us? How do they know about it? She was serious. She wasn't kidding. She's, I'm not joking. This is an honest question, because I saw the episode and she's, well, how do they know about us? Did you tell them that we were mean to you? Because I don't know if I care for that. And I said, no, I didn't say. Japan is 2 years ahead of us. That episode came out 2 years ago, before any of the voice actors was even cast. So I just found out about that. And she's like, uh-huh. I don't believe, okay, fine. And then she would watch the episodes from time to time, and if she happened to catch one with Misty's sisters in it, she'd be like, you told them we were mean to you, didn't you? She was convinced it was about us. And I said, some things are just, universal. I mean, siblings can do that to each other sometimes. So, I'm doing all these long answers, but anyway, I relate to Misty because of her family, very much so. And also because maybe this is just like, I don't know, maybe it's just bias, but I do like water Pokemon the best. I do like them a lot. If I were a gamer, I think I would probably start with Squirtle. That would be my starter. So, yeah, so that's a very lovely question. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.